We're in Boundary Waters and you're watching Andy Parrish Outdoors. Well, hey everybody, Andy here, and thanks for joining me today. And today we're out in the Boundary Waters canoe area in northern Minnesota for a 3-day, 2-night adventure. It's me and the kids. I've got Angelina, I've got Michael, and I've got Joey. And for two of them, they've never been here before. Joey, this is his return visit. We're not going to do anything too aggressive, but introduce them to the Boundary Waters, do some fishing, have some fun. And you know, I'm Andy. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about backpacking, outdoor adventures, gear reviews, tips and tricks, you name it. If you like that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe and smash that notification bell so that you can be alerted every time I post new content. And there's a lot of great content coming. So sit back and relax and let's dive right into Boundary Waters 2021.
No hables, por favor.
All right, we are on Sawbill Lake. We are at the start of our 3-day, 2-night adventure. All right, so let's try and go straight this way. Hey guys, come on over here. Let's stick together. Yeah, real easy. Let's get over to Alton, let's get our camp situated, and then we can go play around on the canoes. But I think we've got a couple hours of paddling to get there. They're back there cracking themselves up, trying to figure out how to paddle. It's been a little while for both of them. Michael's been on a canoe trip at least, just a short day trip. And then Joey did the one back in 2018, the Boundary Waters trip. We're just on Sawbill Lake. It's a nice big lake. I think it's entry point 37. There's a group of people that are making their way off. We saw one group heading out already. It's a beautiful day. The rain's already gone through. Came through last night and this morning. And there's not too much wind, just a tiny bit from our back. So we're just kind of coasting across. I've not done this route before, so this will be a new one for me. So there is some navigating involved. It's not just off of memory, but should be a lot of fun. Hopefully do some fishing. We'd like to catch a fish and fillet it, cook it up. Maybe some nice walleye would be great. I think everybody's got a fishing pole, so everybody's gonna have a chance. See how we do. All right, I'll check back in as we get over to the portage. So what do you think, Gia, so far? It's what?
It's a lot of fun, kind of tiring too.
Yeah, it'll be kind of tiring. We'll get comfortable with it, but we're only half an hour in, 20 minutes in. We spotted our portage up ahead. There's some people exiting Alton. We're going to take the portage over to Alton and scout for some campsites over there for our first night. Just kind of get some practice in the boats, have a nice easy paddle, make sure we get a campsite early before lunch if possible. It is 10:30. We just got on the water about 10, so it's only been out 20-30 minutes. Just getting across Sawbill here to the first portage, and then Alton will do some exploration, get camp set up. We'll watch these jokesters over here.
We're gonna hit you.
Please don't hit us. Don't hit yourself in the head.
I'll do both.
We're at the first portage. We're offloading the first canoe.
Oh, those are fish. There's a lot of fish.
Yeah? Okay. Good, Gia, that's perfect. Love that, how you're kind of like protecting from the rocks. Okay, we're about as shallow as we're gonna get. Maybe Mike there, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Take that for me, go set it with the other one. Thank you very much. No, it's still running. Yeah, it's just...
Hi, camera.
Hi, everybody. All right, we made it to the portage. Offloaded everything, and now we're just gonna hike down the trail. It's me and Angelina. The boys are already up ahead. They did their first carry. I'm gonna go back and get my pack. This one's pretty short. I think it's like 17 rods. So 200 feet, something like that, a little over that. I'm not doing all the math. I'm just here to have fun. I'm on vacation, so. Beautiful weather, the sun has come out. A little bit of gnats in the parking lot. There really haven't been much of bugs since then. Not a problem, at least. Just having a good time. Enjoying being out on the water. Hey, we're already there. Short portage. All right, we are on Alton. The boys are out a little bit to our left. We are gonna scout some campsites now. It is, my mistake, it is 30 rods. Let's go left a little more, Angelina, over. You pick a side. You are backwards on your hands. So when you switch sides, you have to switch top hand and bottom hand, okay? It's like a... So we're gonna hug the shoreline as best we can. Michael, you just protect the front of the boat from rocks. You push off the rocks, okay? Think we can follow them? If we get the nose into the wind, it's easier. But getting it turned is very hard. Good. That was really good. Okay. All right, well, we made it to the first campsite to scout. And I think we'll stop and have lunch here. The boys are pushing. They want to go further. But it's proving to be pretty challenging for me and Gia to deal with the wind. So we're gonna stop and eat some lunch then at this site, and as they're exploring a little bit, we'll go up and check out the fire ring. This is the little kind of dock, shallow area that you can pull in. And this is the first one that we found south of the portage into Lake Alton from Sawbill, the southern portage. So we're gonna go explore and have some lunch, and we'll check back in later. All right, so this is the first campsite that we came across for lunch. So it just has a big fire ring. You're kind of an elevated spot on the point here. So you can walk down the trail a little bit and see out towards the portage or view south. There's a little canoe landing down here where we came up. There's a trail back to the privy is back that way. And then, you know, it's a decent size. This isn't a very large one. You know, this might be a 2 or 3 star out of 4. You could have a flat area here for hammocks or camp tent. A couple different tree setups that you could do. And then there's one more flat spot back there, and then the trail keeps going. I didn't go all the way, but there's a little bit of a distance. You can go out that way, and maybe there's more spots, but it's kind of spread out from that standpoint. We all want to be together. Out here, you definitely could, you know, have a flat spot for a tent, even down here too. So trees are in pretty good shape, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of damage or standing deadwood that are, you know, widow makers, issues like that. So it's an okay site. The boys already took the other canoe and are scouting the next site south of here. I believe this is the second one. We couldn't find the first one, so maybe we went past it. I think this is the second one south on the map, same side of the lake on Alton as the southern portage. And then we're gonna keep heading southbound and see if we can't find a little better camp option.
Canoe.
Yeah, nice. Do that again. I want to get that on camera.
Okay, let's go.
We're taking a water break.
It's great B-roll.
We decided to raft up and cross Alton together, and we're deciding not to camp on Alton. So we're gonna check. You're putting us too much on. Right, Joe?
This is so much easier. So much easier.
You rafting up?
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
Michael, you should try and get it in Joey's
Well,
mouth.
we'll have to remember this if we get a windy day. Like the last day,
Yeah.
supposed to be thunderstorm.
We can just plow together.
We might have to do this just to be more stable and
We use like a fourth of the force because one person can still keep us all going.
well, and you can take breaks then, and like
Yeah.
we'll go and then they'll go and then we'll
We'll
go.
have to between those two.
So what are we
Oh my gosh, you can completely see the other side of the lake now. Between
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said I can see
wow.
between.
Yeah.
So
Are we
to go.
planning on going farther, or are we planning on coming back
Joey says let's just go farther and camp farther,
more fun.
and then come back?
because obviously the farther
We
you
have
go,
3
the more
days,
fun
Michael. And one of the days
can be out.
is
One back to here and then one out.
Wait, how
We-
much farther are we going? I thought we were going on that island.
We're going off of this lake to the next lake.
we have to do one more little land thing. It's gonna
One portage.
portage, and this is gonna be the actual.
What are you, French?
I'm
What is it, Francais?
We're not Michael, that's something fun. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Whirlpool.
I know, that's what
If you do a good power stroke, you get a good whirlpool. If you do a sweep, you just get a messed up one. Still got it. Cranking it. Look at this speed.
What is that? We're not. We're not doing that.
Oh, my hat.
Good thing we're rafted up. It's alright, it's alright. We'll just keep going. I have more hair than you. What are you talking about? I'm schmexy.
Next. I don't even know what that is, and I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Straight up.
Hey, there's number 1. Nice little walleye. That was pretty cool. Woohoo! First walleye of the trip. Alton Lake, south end, right next to the portage. Don't know how long I was dragging it because I actually didn't feel it hit.
We will sacrifice Gia to the bears.
No, you.
You can get. We will sacrifice you to the bears, Gia. Trust me.
Is that our defense strategy, Michael?
Yeah, who needs pots and pans when you have oars?
Yeah, lack of bear.
No, we'll do it.
Ooh, nice and calm. Looks awesome. Good call, Joe. Hope I see people.
Finally, another person.
I wonder if they're already camped here. All right, so we made it over to Beth Lake and took our time fishing at the portage, catching some fish a little bit, just some little baby bass along the shore. Went back and got the canoe. We're now making our way across Beth to try and find a campsite for tonight. Just past one that was occupied, and we've got another one, which I think is up here on the right side of the lake, the north end. And we're going to see if that's okay. I hear there's 2 other sites on the back side of the lake which are less than great, based on a family that was coming through that we talked to a little bit. So we're just kind of taking our time. The boys are behind us. I'm trolling a little bit as I go across. And so far the only thing we've seen in this lake is bass. So I have no idea if there's walleye or anything. So we'll see if there's anything biting in here other than bass. All right, so made it to Beth Lake. We found our campsite. We think it's adequate. It's not great. It's kind of small. There's not a lot of space, but there's only a few hammocks and the tent. So it should be fine. We've got a nice view here from the campfire area. Again, not very big, but just for a couple of us, it's, you know, it's fine. There's a few flies around, some bugs, but nothing terrible. Trails that go off in every direction. So the kids are kind of exploring those together right now, trying to find which one leads to the bathroom. Not really sure. So I'm going to go ahead and get the stuff laid out so that we can start putting up tents and hammocks when they get back in a couple minutes. And then a couple wanted to swim because it's kind of hot. You know, it's mid 80s for sure. And especially here in the afternoon as we were coming across Beth, you really felt the heat. You didn't notice it as much over on Alton. I'm not sure if that was just because it was a bigger lake and there was a little more wind to it, but this is a little calmer. Still a good sized lake, but it's still pretty small compared to Alton anyway. Alton's pretty big. And it's really shallow. So it should be great for swimming because I think you can go out 20 feet and it's not even, you know, much more than waist deep, maybe a little bit more. You know, 6-8 feet deep, quite a ways. As we were going across, there were huge sections of it where it wasn't more than 20 feet deep or so. So may not be a great fishing lake, but probably a good swimming lake. And then we can head over to Alton tomorrow morning, set up camp over there, and do some fishing over there. No walleye, no bites, anything over here. It's been all bass. And that may be all that's in here. I'm not sure. So, well, I'm going to get set up and I will check back in later. All right, we've made dinner. The boys are heading out to do a little scouting around. We definitely had our favorites. What did you have, Angelina?
The Mexican-style grilled chicken bowl with rice and beans.
And how would you rate that out of 10?
Probably like a 6 out of 10. I rather have the ones my brothers had, which was the chicken teriyaki. It was light years better.
Okay. Well, what would you rate that one out of 10?
Probably like a 9 out of 10.
Can you hold up the bag so we can see exactly what maker it was? So that was the Alpine Air, the Mexican-styled grilled chicken bowl. It was pretty good. It came with Cholula, right? Or did we bring that separately?
We brought that separately.
We brought that. Yeah, that helped a lot. The boys, they already put it away, but they had, do you remember the make of it? It was Peak Refuel chicken teriyaki, and I had some of that too, and it was very tasty. So that one was very highly rated. Angelina and I are going to clean up from dinner, and I'm going to then get the fire going. The boys are going to do a little scouting and come back, and we got to finish getting everything set up for camp. So tarps up, tents up, hammocks up, all that kind of stuff. Insulation. It's still pretty warm here, probably upper 70s still. But the sun is starting to set, so it's cooling off a little bit. The bugs are showing up a little bit more, but still not terrible. But they're around, mostly just mosquitoes at this point. So, all right, that's it for now. I'm going to go get the fire going, get dinner cleaned up, and I will check back in later. That should be good. That's our fire going.
There was an ant right there.
We were able to find a downed pine tree that was able to take off some decent sized hunks from that was back in the woods on the ground, and saw those up. Get a nice little fire going, right?
Yeah.
Help keep the bugs at bay for a little bit. And watch for the boys to come back. They're, you probably can't see them, but off towards the far shore just over here right now, and they're gonna head back along that way. So peaceful. Not any wind. It's just very calm over here on this side of the lake, right, Gia?
Yeah.
They went swimming a little bit out here. Especially Gia and Joey, they went all the way in. Michael and I just went waist deep or so, and then rinsed off arms and legs a little bit just to cool off. It was really hot earlier, but it's cooling off. It's still pretty warm out here, but it's got to be at least upper 70s still. So hoping that it cools down. Love to get into the 50s tonight, low 60s, something like that. Cooler weather to sleep in, I think, is always super comfortable. So we're gonna sit back and enjoy this fire for a little bit, and I'm gonna get the pot heated up so that we can clean some of the spoons that we had for dinner. So that's all for now. We'll check back later, maybe as the boys circle back from their exploration tour of the lake. They're doing great. It's awesome to see them on the canoe. Gia and I think, are getting it figured out, right? But we've got some work cut out to match them. They're working together well. So, all right, check in later. Looks like Gia found the pocket bellows. Okay. We got plenty of fire. We're good. You just like doing that because it's fun.
It is.
That's one thing I'll put in the descriptions. But if you got kids, that is a inexpensive item, and it's pretty lightweight to bring along camping, and they all love it. They have all taken time wanting to play with the pocket bellows to help get the fire started back up again. You know, if it kind of dies down but the coals are still going, you can use that, and it just kind of focuses your breath into a pinpoint spot, and really works really well. But the kids think it's pretty cool, so that's something. Check the description below. I'll put a link to that so you can go check that out for yourself. So what do you think of the pocket bellows, Angelina?
It's fun.
It is, isn't it? All right, well, we'll have plenty of time to do that on this trip, I'm sure. So a nice little pile of it. Goes up real quickly. This birch bark is worth its weight in gold. You can just put a lighter to it and it's like great fire starter. So we're gonna leave some for the next group if we don't use it all up ourselves. So that's our kindling and light fuel. All right, we are all in our tents for the night, our hammocks. It is getting pretty dark now, so we're gonna get in. The wind picked up to probably 10-15 miles an hour, so it's really helped keep the mosquitoes at bay completely. So we're right on the shore here, and the wind is pushing right into our camp, so it's great. Almost no bugs tonight, pretty clear sky, but we're all in bed for the night. And Joey and Gia, I'll try and show you tomorrow, maybe a little show around camp too in the morning. Their hammocks are literally bumping up against each other, so it's just listening to them go back and forth is kind of hilarious. Michael's in his tent next to me, and I'm on the far side. So yes, so that's all for tonight. We'll say goodnight, and we'll see everybody in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. It is, gosh, let me check. It is 7:30. It's pretty windy out. I can hear the wind just whipping. It was gusting all night long. So, excuse me, we may have some wind to deal with on the water today. It was a beautiful night, no rain. I think it was about 65, maybe 60 degrees last night. So pretty comfortable once it cooled down. I hear people kind of moving around inside their tents and hammocks, but I don't know that anybody's up yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and slowly get up, peek out, and see how everybody did, and start thinking about getting breakfast and then a plan of action for today. Do we want to backtrack and go back, set up camp on Alton? That may be a real possibility. So wind's going to be an issue, I think, on the water, but we want to do some fishing. We want to have maybe a chance to swim again today. It should be mostly sunny, high about 80 degrees, so should be perfect weather today other than the wind. So alright, I'm gonna turn this off and get moving, and I will check back in later. We are trying to cross Beth Lake back to the portage to Alton, into the wind, slow going.
It's over there.
You see it? Hello, Loon. That's pretty close.
Yeah. Michael, Alton's vertical and this is horizontal.
So hopefully we get a break from the far side. We should be able to go north and south on it without a problem. Is that a duck on this little stone under the cliff there?
What?
Or a loon? Straight ahead. Yep, that's a loon.
There's a rock right there.
He's good. we're off.
Angelina here. Right now we're hiking through our first portage today. The lake we just came from was Lake Beth. It was really hard. We were fighting against the wind and we had to raft up with the boys. I'm here with my dad. He's carried the canoe in the back and the boys went ahead with some of the packs. Well, I'll check in with you guys later. Bye.
Oop, did I hit you?
No, I hit it.
Okay.
My hand.
We're on the portage. Got off of Beth Lake, heading to Alton again. My GoPro's sliding down as I'm hiking. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's warming up, but it's really windy out as Gia runs by. I'm sorry, it's sliding, so I can't get it to. Heading back to get the second canoe and a little bit of our gear. All right, there we go. We are off, although I'm nervous. We forgot something. We're kind of hurrying. I'm not sure why. I think a couple of the crew are getting a little tired. One's getting a little, I think, anxious and wanting to really push. So probably gonna have to call a break when we get up to the other side. Alton looks pretty windy as well. And I think that last lake took a lot out of us. And these are challenging conditions. So I think the goal today is to get closer to home and then set up camp so that we have an easier exit day after that. So that's the hope. I think the plan. We'll also get over here and we'll take a look at the map. And do you need something, Mike?
Just making sure you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. Just trying to get a little commentary in as we hike. Second leg with the canoe, the second canoe. So yeah, if we can get closer to home, then we have a shorter day tomorrow. Who knows what the weather's going to be like. It sounds like it's going to be nice tomorrow, but you know, 25-mile-an-hour winds today are what the gusts were forecasted to be. I'd say they're every bit of that, and it's challenging. So we have to be smart, and we have to know our group, know our limitations, and play to those. So I think the map plan session coming up when we get to the end of this portage is going to be big. Picking our goal campsite, adjusting if we're unable to make it, what do we do? There's a bunch of sites on this lake, but we don't want to spend a lot of time searching the lake trying to find a spot. We kind of want to get a good one and be done, is my thought. And then we only have part of the lake tomorrow. A little rocky here. A little portage tomorrow, then to Sawbill, and then the exit. So section on Sawbill is pretty short, which should be fine. And then if we can close the distance from our camp on Alton to the exit today, I think that'd be great. Unless the wind calms down. If the wind calms down, ooh, a little slippery. If the wind calms down, then we can be a little more adventurous. But again, I want us to have fun and I don't want to push too hard. This is meant to be enjoyable, not you know, exhausting, brutally spirit breaking, all of that kind of stuff. So all right, I'm gonna finish the portage and then I will I'll check back in once we have an idea of just what the plans are gonna be going forward. And stay tuned because those plans may change depending on ever-changing, you know, variables. So, oh, for now, I'll check back later. All right, we are back on Alton. It's like one big twisty tie. All right, we are drifting here in a cove on the east side of Alton Lake. We're rafted up. It's pretty brutal getting across the lake, but we made it. And now we're kind of on the calm side because the wind's coming across over top of us. So we kind of get a break from the wind riding this eastern shoreline. We passed a campsite, talked to Troop 777. And they're looking for some of their mates that we saw over on the portage to Beth Lake, so we let them know. We're going to stop and check out this first campsite, and then there's a second one just a little bit further, so we'll figure out which one of those we want to take for the night, and then we should have a short paddle to the portage tomorrow on Sawbill for our exit. So it's just a matter of picking which one is best for tonight. We're just gonna go right across this cove and stop, take a look, and then decide if we want to go up another couple hundred yards and check the next one. So, how are you feeling?
Great. What's up, Andy Parrish Outdoors people? Today we are out on a canoe in the middle of a lake. It's hot outside, there are many bugs, but we're making the best of it. We're gonna continue to find whatever we're doing right now. We're just kind of paddling, because everywhere may be camps. Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that means either. But he said it with a smile, so that's good. I'll take it. Yeah, we're hoping they're not taken. So why don't we creep forward towards that campsite, everybody, and
Suck if they're all camped.
we'll check back in a little bit.
Go, Gia.
The wind is pushing us directly towards the campsite, which I think is right here. We're not positive, but it looks like it could be. Why are you rocking? We're not in a rocking chair. I'm not liking that. I'm not sure what's going on. Joey went to the shore and we hear clapping.
Hopefully he won.
We're waiting in anticipation. Here he comes back down the trail.
You guys hear that?
Yeah.
What was it?
A clapping bear.
Clapping bear.
No, it was me slapping a metal grate.
Let's go!
Wait, Gia, we don't go first. We go last.
Dang it.
The problem is,
Is there a better landing?
yeah, I'm gonna go check, actually.
Because there might be a better landing on the other side. All right, we made it back to the campsite. We stopped and had lunch on day one. The site we wanted up the shore was taken. The first site we saw was Troop 777. They had that one. So we came back up to this first one, and then we go around the point, and then it's the portage over to east over to Sawbill. So we're on the east side of the lake. It is a hot, sunny day. The wind is changed a little bit, so it was kind of southeast to northwest. Now it's mainly just south to north. So it kind of aided us once we got to the east side, coming up this side of the lake. So let's go take a look at just what this site looks like. There's the canoe landing area, so we just put the canoes down. We literally just unloaded everything right here. It's pretty shallow. I was able to walk in here, and it's, you know, shin to knee deep is about all it is. So we've got my bag, one of the boys' vests, our packs here. Poles up. Gia, she's all about going swimming, which is cool. And then, you know what? I'm gonna take my life jacket off real quick because I don't need to do the whole tour with my life jacket on. So from the landing, you come up this little walkway to the main fire ring. Where the boys are. So you may remember this. I think I had some video. And you got a little lookout point.
They did not hear what we said.
And a fire ring. And then the path to the privy was back that way. And we think we can do camp over here with some hammocks and such. Although you could probably do hammock over here too. This is a little narrow, but you could probably do hammocks a couple different spots. The fire ring, and that's it. So nice view of the lake out here. We'll take it. You can hear the wind whipping through the trees, so that made it a challenging day on the water, but it actually wasn't too bad. They did real well, and when we rafted up the canoes and lashed them together, wasn't too bad. We were able to get through a couple really challenging spots really well. So you can see the waves just whipping across the water out here. All right, that's it for now. We're gonna go get our bags and set up camp and rest a little bit, maybe do some swimming, and I will check back later.
We tried.
Okay.
$4,000. Or you return it. Yeah. Popcorn. Because we need popcorn on a camping trip. You know what we can actually go for?
Who wants some popcorn?
Okay, I give up.
All right, so we have completed our dinner. It was okay tonight. Chili mac. We attempted some popcorn earlier, and again, that was, first one was completely burned, and the second one was okay. It was okay. We had a little bit of salt. Needed some butter. I don't know what else, but it was all right. So we've got dessert to make. We've got a fire to make. We've got to get tarps up for everybody because there's a 50% chance of rain tonight, it said. Get campsite cleaned up and ready for evening. So that's what we're going to do right now, and go relax by the fire after that. So it's a beautiful night. Sun's going down over the lake. You can come over here.
The sun's going down real low.
Yeah, we got a little while until it's down all the way, but the wind is has been steady the whole day. So even right now, it's still kind of out of the south. Hopefully, it's a lighter day tomorrow in exit. So, all right, we're gonna get all set, cleaned up, and we'll check back in later. All right, we got dessert done. We had a little fire, so we put it out, and we're gonna go back out on the water. The boys are out doing a little fishing. G and I are gonna go join them, see if we can catch some walleye or pike or who knows. So let's get that canoe in the water. Go take a look. All right, we are back in the water. Let's go back over this way a little bit, Gia. And gonna enjoy some time on the water. We've got the sun's behind the clouds over here. Let me show you, because it's pretty awesome. You got that as our as our backdrop. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. The winds have calmed down a ton. There's another group out there. The boys were going around the point here just to check, and we're gonna just do a little bit of fishing. So Gia, let's turn to our left a little bit. You want to use that kind of 3/4, or if you want to go that side. No, on there, do a sweep. Yeah, perfect. Well, we're just riding out a thunderstorm. That was a pretty intense lightning show about 10 minutes ago. Just constant flashes of lightning. I think most of it was cloud to cloud, but I don't know that I've ever been in a lightning show that the thunder didn't stop. It was just constant thunder for a good 15 minutes. It's moved off past us, and it's just raining pretty lightly. But that was some pretty heavy rain and some intense lightning display, but not much wind to go with it, thankfully. So crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go back to bed. It's about 2:30 in the morning right now. Can you hear that? Alright, good morning everybody. The rain stopped last night, late morning. We've pretty much gotten everything packed up. We're just kind of doing final walkthrough, police line checking to see if we dropped anything, forgot anything, left anything behind. We're carrying everything down to the landing with the canoes, and we're going to be getting on the water shortly. It's 9:45, so if we can be on the water by 10 or 10:15, hopefully be back to the canoe outfitters by noon or 1 o'clock. We only have one portage, so a short paddle to the portage and then a slightly longer paddle to the outfitter, but not too bad. So the weather's pretty calm. The winds are light from the south, so it should help us on this lake get to the portage, get to the other side, and then it'll be a little bit against us, but you probably don't hear anything. No wind whistling through the trees like it was yesterday morning when we woke up, and it was like sustained 20-mile-an-hour winds. So it's probably 5 to 6 mile-an-hour winds right now, and I haven't had any gusting, heard any gusting at all. So everybody's being real helpful this morning. I think everybody's excited to get out of here. The fog is burning off now. Let's go take a view here at the point and show you our view. All right, we are officially on the water. Are leaving our campsite. You might be able to see the landing right off here behind us. It is Thursday, 10 a.m. Calm waters, at least so far. We'll find out when we get out to the middle of the lake, just what it looks like. I'm gonna try and do a little trolling on the way out of Alton. Caught a nice walleye. I think that was day one. All right, we're on the last portage of the trip, heading from Alton back to Sawbill Lake for a short paddle to the docks, and then maybe a shower and some ice cream or an energy bar or something like that before we load up the car and start heading for home. This is a nice flat, wide portage. I'm doing a little bit of single carry. I did it a little bit last trip, and I didn't want to miss out this trip too. It was a really short and easy one, so I thought, let's carry the pack and the canoe and just do it. So I've got way too much stuff to do a much longer carry, I think. But if I streamline down, I think I could do it. But it's tough with these two-person canoes because they're 40-something pounds to begin with, so 42, I think. And then my pack's got to be still 30 pounds or so. So let's see, we got somebody coming off. We are going to, I think, set it down right next to the other one. All right, we are on Sawbill, waiting for the boys to get in from the portage behind us, so we're just kind of drifting out here. We're about to exit out of the boundary waters here shortly. Just a couple minutes from now, we cross into non-boundary waters territory, I guess. I don't know. Weather's been good. No wind really. Just a real light breeze just to help keep you cool. It's warming up already, and there's a ton of humidity in the air just from the storms, I think, that came through last night. I haven't noticed a lot of bugs since we got on the water, so it's been pretty pleasant. I think we're tired though. I think we're ready to be out of the wilderness. See civilization again. I think the kids are more so than I am, but I am too. This has been challenging, but I hope they learned something. I hope they had fun. I hope there's some memories that they have that they'll look back on or talk about. I know it's a real short trip, so there's not as many, but it's a beautiful place out here, and it's a lot of fun learning how to canoe and camp, and there's lots of people out here, grandpas with their kids and grandkids, and scout troops, and you name it. So lots of different people come do this, and it's a very accessible from the standpoint that it's affordable. It's not super accessible as that it's kind of far from everything. So, you know, we have a 12+ hour drive to get up here, but it's well worth it. I mean, I would come up here every year to do a trip for 4 days and fish and camp, and you know, maybe go with different people. If the kids don't want to go every time, I would go up here solo. I'd go up here with friends. I'd bring my wife up here. I think she would enjoy some of this. But I just wanted to kind of introduce them a a little day trip, you know, not day trip, but a little short trip, 3 days, 2 nights, just get a taste. The boys are catching up behind. You might not be able to see them over my shoulder here, but let's see if we slide it over this way. You can probably see them. All right, that's all for now. I am going to enjoy my last probably 20 minutes of paddle, and we'll chat more when we get to the dock. Go down and grab the Gia, good job. I'm going to take the packs and line them up. You just kind of hold the boat. All right, we're back at the Outfitters. We just took the first big load up of the canoes, the jackets, the paddles. I'm going back down to get my pack and Joey's pack, bring them up to the car. Then we can get our change of clothes, go settle up at the Outfitters. We're gonna get showers and towels, and then change into fresh clothes for the car ride, and get on the road and see how far we want to go tonight before we stop and get a hotel. So we're all pretty hungry for sure. There's a little hangriness going on. I'm definitely hungry, and I can tell they are as well. So I'm trying to just push and double time everything, carry extra packs, carry extra weight, whatever I can, just to make it easier on them. Because I think they're about done and they just want to rest. So I'm gonna grab my pack and Joey's and haul that up to the car before he realizes that I did that. So I will check back in a little bit. All right, everybody, we made it to the hotel the first night. We made it out of Boundary Waters, checked out, got our showers, feel kind of like normal people again. I've had a meal or two, had a great time, lots of great adventures. If you've never been to Boundary Waters, it's definitely worth looking into. It might be something that you work up to, you know, practicing getting comfortable in the canoes, in lakes and rivers near you, and then coming up and trying something like Boundary Waters, doing a multi-day trip is really awesome. So had a lot of fun introducing all the kids to it, and just having some quality time with them, and look forward to getting back and doing it again. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, be well.